The dogs at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Frisco. Okay, and welcome back to episode 5 of the
It's okay
podcast. Okay. Today is January the 25th in the year of our Lord 2024, and PJ's not here. We'll get to that in a second. But the current price of Bitcoin is $40,135.50.
What's that height?
The block height.
Very important.
I don't know. Does he pull this from a special website? Block height. What do I type? Block height
Google.
now.
Blockheight.com.
Block height now.
Blockheight.org.
Latest block height. Latest BTC blocks. Okay, here we go.
1 million?
82. Wait, it's not.
That can't be it.
What if there's 6 numbers?
Say them all.
8,274,000. No,
that'd be.
Read that top number.
That'd be in the hundreds of
the
thousands.
top number is
Starts with an 82.
827,411. Does that sound anywhere close to right?
Does that sound right? Top left.
Yeah, 827,411.
827,411.
Verified.
Individual, independent checks. Episode 5, which means that for 5 weeks we have come on and recorded a podcast. That's not exactly true because today's a Thursday.
True.
And we are all in Texas. And so the reason that these two guys are here with us now is because we're all together. So why not do it all together?
Also, marks the 5th week of me not knowing what block height is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've gone my whole life not knowing.
So PJ's not here. So does anyone want to take a stab at what block height is?
So I'm going to go.
Well, do you know what Bitcoin is?
Yes.
It's on a blockchain.
There you go.
yes.
Do I know what blockchain is?
Yes.
No. No idea. No.
Nobody knows.
But I have it's block height has to do with blockchain.
Yes.
Digital.
Look at that.
So every time a transaction happens, it's creating.
The block gets higher.
Think of like Legos.
Okay.
And every time a transaction happens, another Lego's getting punched in.
You could make
and you're making a tower.
Do they make it out of
anything
Legos?
right now and be like
Bitcoin for dummies.
is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Okay.
And it's made out of Legos?
It's made out of Legos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all it is.
So we're coming to you live from Frisco, Texas.
Well, live taped. Either
Live tape. Well, it's technically live when we're recording it.
Yeah.
It'll be
We're
taped.
doing live right now.
That's deep. Yeah.
It'll be taped when you listen to it. Frisco, Texas. We are here. Jeff and I are here for our Marine Corps drill. It's a big month in the Marine Corps and the artillery community. It's St. Barbara's month. So the patron saint of artillery is St. Barbara. She watches over stone hurlers, catapulters,
Rocketeers.
artillerymen. I think firefighters are included.
Yeah.
They hurl water.
Not
at things.
logisticians.
Yeah.
Not
No.
logisticians.
No.
That's St. Philip.
St.
said-
Joseph.
St. Joseph.
Yeah.
St. Joseph said it best.
Watching over those cases MREs.
Yeah. So here we are up in Texas
Deep in the heart.
and deep in the heart. And Trey lives here. So we
From time to time.
Yeah. So we took this thing on the road because we want to stay consistent. And so it's week 5. When you're listening to this, we'll have made a bunch of videos.
Yeah.
And
at least 1,000.
at least 1,000 videos. So do you guys want me to go through like the normal startup, or we just want to go total?
I'm
ad-lib?
curious what comes on before.
Yeah.
You don't listen to your own podcast?
No,
I skip ahead to when I come on.
I still have a Razor phone, so I still have the
So you've never
capabilities.
listened.
Yeah.
What's a podcast? Does it come on the radio? I can't find the station.
Well, we'll skip some of the normal stuff, but I feel like
Let's
we can
do it.
give a pretty good carnivore update
Go for it.
based off of what just transpired.
Absolutely.
So it's day 25 of carnivore, and I finally have some bad news. No, but I will say on Tuesday, I had a very low calorie day. So each day I've been 2 meals pretty high calorie, have felt good in the weight room. Tuesday, I went fishing, which we might talk about later. I was working until I had to go fishing, working until I went fishing.
It's accurate.
And forgot to eat and realized I don't have time to eat. So I went and then I fished all day, a bunch of steps, cold water, 35 degrees, got home, ate at 6 p.m., recorded 2 YouTube videos, then went on the podcast with you guys.
What time are you usually breaking fast?
I usually eat at noon.
Okay.
Well, between noon and 1, somewhere in there. I don't like time it, but it's usually I'm
around then.
Coaching in the morning. I eat midday. So I forgot. So I ate a meal, filmed, went on with you guys. Podcast usually ends 10:30 or so. I go ahead and upload the files. I get to bed late.
Okay.
I didn't eat anymore. Next day I went to train and my deadlift suffered big time. I was going to pull 455, I think, for 2 sets of 5.
Which is like lower energy or what?
Well, no, I actually felt okay energy wise, but I pulled 3 singles. Like I pulled one rep.
Okay.
It wasn't like, oh, rep 1's a liar. Pull the next one. I was like, oh, there's nothing here. I salvaged it. I pulled 3 singles and then I pulled some back off sets. But I realized, if I am full of carbohydrates and I miss a meal or two, I can go into the gym and the glycogen storage are still there.
Yeah.
And I can pull. But I don't know. This is just grant science.
Ooh.
But I think
I've read that book.
Yeah, I read that book. But I think if you just are total carnivore, fat fueled, and you miss essentially a days of food, you pay the price.
You feel it?
Yeah, you feel the price. So that's what I felt. But I'm still 215. I didn't lose any weight, which was weird.
Good news.
Good news.
Great news. Great
Getting
news.
too skinny.
Yeah. So 215 pounds still. I still train. I still made it hard. I still made it heavy.
How are the dookies?
The dookies, the poopies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I added in goat milk after like the 16th. I added in raw goat milk. Ba. Does a goat go ba? Or is it a sheep?
That's a sheep.
A sheep goes ba.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Birdie.
little birdie.
Birdie's letting out
We don't
farts
rip
out here.
hear the dog, but he's chilling. I added in the goat milk, which gave me for like a day. My stomach made noise, growled, but yeah, that's it. I never had the explosive rocket fuel that
Good.
Joe Rogan had.
No, like I said, I've been staying awake at night, just curious about your
I'm sure.
alpha events.
Yeah. So, I think that pretty much wraps up. Oh, well, I would say then we came here to Texas. And so I ate some leftover venison this morning, had a little bit of goat milk, flew in. We should talk about DFW. We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
But flew in.
Yes, we will.
And came here. The three of us hung out a bit. We set up the mobile podcast studio and went out to have some appetizers, and there was not a single carnivore option on that menu.
You found one, though.
Well, you were trying to make me stumble. You were like, get the tuna roll.
Get behind me, Satan. Yeah.
I asked the girl, what did I say to her? What was her name? Do you remember?
Shannon.
Shannon at Dee. I'm like, hey, I'm kind of weird. I only eat meat. I'm carnivore. And she goes, oh, yeah. I have a steak egg roll.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think you know.
She didn't know what carnivore is.
Yeah. But I appreciated her enthusiasm.
Yeah, God bless her.
So I ordered the steak salad essentially without the salad.
Yeah. You just got give me a bowl of steak.
Yeah, steak salad. Hold the salad.
I said, over here on the menu, it says add steak for $7.
Give me
I
that.
just want to add that steak. I don't want anything else. And it worked out.
Add it to a plate. I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, you guys had chips.
Yeah, they're great.
Carnivore chips.
Yeah, they were.
A lot of people didn't know that. Yeah.
Meat
You
based.
didn't realize that. Yeah.
No, meat
they're all
based, and so was the
chips.
queso.
So was this.
Even though queso would be like the softest cheese you could have, probably like it's melted.
Soft, yeah.
Very
Well, what if you
soft.
froze it?
Oh, that'd be
hard cheese.
carnivore.
What is it?
Carnivore.
If I threw it at you.
Yeah.
You know,
would hurt.
queso is just Spanish for cheese, right?
What?
Hold
Yeah.
on.
It doesn't have to be melted.
I need to go rethink my life.
It's a deep take. Deep take.
Not according to that menu.
So you had venison this morning.
Yeah, and tonight.
So then I was going to say, compared So you had whitetail venison,
Whitetail deer that I shot
and then
with my own fingers.
bougie venison, aka Axis,
Yeah, so I think
that was imported from Hawaii.
we need to prep the dinner talk.
Please do.
So
Yeah, go for it.
we finished with Shannon. These guys had their meat chips, which I didn't know were made out of meat.
delicious.
I would have had some.
Salsa was
Best
made
meat
out of
chips
meat.
And
ever.
then we came back here, and when we all used to live together,
I would make Grant cook for me.
yeah. Well, it was a great deal. I feel like it was almost like the perfect marriage.
That's so true.
I mean, Trey realized this guy goes to Costco, cooks his food, separates it into Tupperware, and then takes it to work. I want that to happen for me. Hey, Grant, can you just double that?
Grant, I'll buy it.
And he goes, and I go, I mean, I could. He goes, but I mean, it's literally not any more work for you to cook 4 steaks instead of 2, right?
That's why I'm a salesman now.
Yeah. And I said, well, not really. And he goes, okay. And so I would go to Costco and I would just take a photo of the receipt and send it to Trey, and he would send me half of it.
Yeah.
And he bought his own Tupperware. I was like, I don't have enough Tupperware. You need to buy some Tupperware.
Easy. Yeah.
And so I would cook for him. And it was kind of like our deal. It was our thing. So we were different batteries. Romeo.
For free. Grant would just
Romeo.
cook for me.
Hey, I'm
He's a great guy.
I'm a
He's a
kind
great guy.
soul.
Yeah, you are.
Romeo, right?
Sierra.
Sierra.
Tomato.
We were
Yeah.
in Tango. Sparta.
Sparta.
Yeah. And so we would eat the same things. And so tonight there was this big back and forth of, should we go out to eat? Should we eat at the house? I assumed your wife was going to be here. I found out she's not in town. So we come back here, and Trey has only imported the finest meats.
Finest meats.
Tell us a little bit about that venison before I
That
elaborate.
venison, what's the brand? Maui.
Axis.
Maui.
I can't pronounce it. I don't know. So it's a meat delivery subscription program,
Okay.
and it's a conservation. So apparently,
I'm all about the conservation.
Axis deer have overrun a certain island of Hawaii because they were brought
Which
there.
one? Is it FBI?
I'm gonna go with, just based off the
Is it
brand,
Kona?
I'm gonna go with Maui. Because
Maui.
it's Maui Nui.
I'd say that's a pretty good
Just
interpolation.
stab in the dark. I'll go with Maui.
guess. Maui, got it. Not FBI.
Not
from
FBI,
Big Island.
yeah. So apparently axis deer are all over the place, and so they're trying to bring down the population. So this program will shoot the deer, process it, and then you subscribe to it, and then they'll just send you very good cuts of meat.
Okay.
And I'm like, well,
So how often does this meat come?
I order it. So I usually do about every other month,
Okay.
and you can do more frequently.
And you get a selection, like I want tenderloins, I want cube steak, I want salami.
So I pick out, like, there's like, hey, I want the Maui box. And so
Okay.
I pick that, and it sends me pre-cut selects because I can't make decisions. But you can pick like individual cuts. And so I get this box, they send me a bunch of cuts, and it acts as deer. I don't know if you've ever had it. Y'all have now.
Are they bigger deer?
No, they're small, right? Or ish,
No, they're
smallish.
they're bigger than whitetail.
They got to be bigger than South
But
Carolina
they're-
whitetail.
Yeah, they're definitely
Some
bigger.
whitetails. Some whitetail are huge.
Definitely big. Yeah, well, up north they're huge.
Yeah.
But in Texas and I
North
guess
Texas or like the Northeast?
I would say northeast.
Or like North Georgia, which is Columbus, Ohio.
Texas, they're small.
And like, I think Iowa, like Wisconsin.
Huge. They're huge up there.
big
Yeah.
up there.
But
Yeah.
down here, and I guess in South Carolina, they're small.
They're little.
Yeah,
Like
a
they're
big
not.
deer in South Carolina is 180 pounds.
That's about the
a big
same
deer.
here.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
I mean, every now and then someone will kill a 200 pounder, but
we're not hitting that here.
okay.
But axis deer are bigger, but they also, I think have a little bit more fat on them, so they're not gamey like axis deer are.
Okay.
And so they just taste like so much better. You
But
don't
the
have to.
axis deer have more fat.
Yeah.
The axis deer have more
Yeah,
fat.
I could be completely wrong on that.
But that's what you feel
They're
like.
just not gamey.
I mean, I'm about to give my deep take, having eaten loins of white-tailed deer and
In the
axis
same
deer
day.
in the
Same
same
day.
day. In the same day.
And also beef alongside it. So like,
A lot of comparisons. So
Go for it. What's y'all's take on axis deer?
Well, we'll do it. We'll rate it.
Okay,
We'll
go for
rate
it.
it. I like to rate things on an RPE scale because
big RPE guy.
big
Yeah.
RPE guy, rate
Yeah.
of perceived exertion. You know what this is?
Yeah, I
Amateur
know
listener?
exactly what it
Okay.
is. Yeah. Who
So
doesn't?
anyway, Trey has brought in all these fine meats. Axis venison loin, which is different from tenderloin.
Correct.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that, and the internet doesn't understand that. But if you kill a deer, you're going to have a loin, and you're also going to have a tenderloin. And a loin is going to be like your back strap, heartier, almost think like a London broil, right?
Yeah.
Whereas your tenderloin's more like a fillet, like a finer steak. So anyway, you had the venison loin. Then you had, where were the steaks from?
Butcher box.
Butcher Box. So Butcher Box provided, those were ribeyes, bone out ribeyes.
Correct.
And then you had bratwurst from
Just grocery store.
grocery store.
Grocery store.
Yeah, grocery store bratwurst.
Yeah.
That's where you get bratwurst. That's how
finest.
that's how the sausage is made.
Finest meats. Well, what grocery store are we talking?
Sprouts.
Sprouts.
A fine grocery store.
That does not sound carnivore.
I go, oh, my buddies are coming. I got to get the best.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. That was vegetarian. bratwurst.
So wait for fun. So Trey pulls out all this meat, and he pulls out about an assortment of maybe 12 hard cheeses.
Easily. Yeah.
They just kept coming.
A lot of cheeses. Jeff starts cutting up the cheese. Trey goes right to work, pulls out the cast iron pan,
Yeah.
puts it on the stove, turns the stove on,
And I said,
takes a pan out, an additional pan, puts it on, grabs butter, takes the lid off the butter, puts it there, grabs a knife, puts it next to the steaks, salt, pepper on the side of the counter, and goes, all right, Grant, do your thing.
go to town.
Go for it, Grant. And I thought, oh, man, we're right back at the same place.
Brought back so many memories.
Trey's paying for it. I'm cooking it. We're both eating it together.
Trey's going to sleep in a downstairs office tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be really good.
He'll sleep in an office room. Yeah, it's a good take. But anyway, we made it quite the charcuterie board.
Delicious.
Does anyone know what? I wish PJ was here. What does charcuterie mean?
Meat and cheese board.
Meat and cheese.
I don't know. It's like
but sometimes they have
charcuterie
pickles
is
and
like
jam.
meat. It's like a meat. It's French.
Is it French?
Yeah.
Sounds French.
Sounds French. Charcuterie.
Means surrender.
I think it's like
to
a
hunger.
meat shop, like in France.
Yeah.
Let me get the quick
Yeah,
Google.
if only we had a Google.
A device. that
Yeah,
would
if
tell
only we
us
had a
immediately.
device in our pockets with all the answers to the world's problems. But anyway, we made quite the spread. I'm sure the photo of the food will somehow make it onto the title card or somewhere or on an Instagram story. But yeah, quite the spread of food. And so the Axis deer. So I grabbed my loin last night. I wrapped it in bacon.
Okay.
I brought it to room temp. I salt peppered it maybe like 30 minutes before cooking. I wrapped it in bacon just because I'm always worried that venison's going to taste bad.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what can I do? I put it at 350 in the oven. I stuffed my. Do you guys have a meter? Wait, did you find the charcuterie answer?
So Wikipedia here. French term for a branch of cooking devoted to prepared meat products such as bacon, ham, sausage. And some words I can't pronounce. Primarily from pork.
Ooh, every good meal
Sounds
starts.
like
Every good meal starts with the death of a pig. Remember that. So basically, charcuterie is French for carnivore.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
Sounds
That's what
right
it boils
to me.
down to.
So anyway, I wrapped the loin in bacon, baked it at 350, put a meter in. A meter is a wireless thermometer, potential sponsor.
Wait, that's the
You have to
company's
say,
meter?
okay.
That's called
If say,
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry.
And
Yeah.
they-
I didn't get the memo. Yeah, my bad.
potential sponsor.
Okay.
There we go.
And I'm guessing they spell it in a clever way.
No, they spell it meter.
Oh.
Meter? Hardly know her.
I thought it was
yeah.
MEATER.
Yeah, meter.
Meter.
Yeah,
That
meter.
would be clever.
Yeah. Wait, what would be the non-clever way? Like meet her?
METER.
METER.
Oh, meter.
Like a unit of
Oh,
measure.
like a unit of measurement.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, I was
No,
like, oh, that's
meter.
how they spelled
Oh, I
it. That's
guess it is
odd.
meter.
How big is this thermometer?
This company's
Roughly 3 feet?
About a yard.
it's 4 clicks.
About a yard.
Clicks.
This company has had such an impact on me that when I hear meter, I now think MEATER. But you stuff it in the meat, and then you can put it in the oven on your cast iron pan
Is it on your phone as far as the...
and follow it on your phone.
Dang.
And then you go in and you select the type of meat.
Okay.
So venison.
Okay.
The app's always in the cloud on my phone, so Diana always has to watch it. She does most of the meat cooking, and then you say venison, and then you say loin, and then you say desired temperature.
Oh, wow.
And so what I didn't realize with it is I said 125. I want to pull out rare, let it rest. It actually even calculates for the rest time. So when it hit like 118, it's like pull your meat meat, stop cooking. And I was like, no, I want to pull it at 125. Let get a little bit more. So that's what I did. Last night I ate it. The bacon actually didn't really cook all the way. Like, it was edible.
I saw a picture of it.
Yeah, but it wasn't crispy. Yeah, it wasn't crispy. And so I actually just unwrapped from the bacon, then cooked the rest of the bacon later, and then went into the meat. And last night, I would say it was great.
Okay.
It needed some salt, but it was good. Kind of chewy, tough a little bit, but it was good. So I ate half of that loin. Diana.
Oh, yeah.
Diana and venison. Denison.
There's a Denison, Texas up
Denison,
north. Yeah.
You ain't been awake till you wake up in Denison, Texas. Yeah, that's how that
Denison
song goes.
Yellow Jackets. All right, baby.
Okay, Yellow Jackets. Yeah, Denison, venison, Denison. Yeah, she doesn't really enjoy the venison. So I ate half the loin. I put the rest in the fridge. This morning before flying here, I got up. I was like, I need to eat. So I ate earlier than I usually do. I had to leave the airport about 10:30. So at 10, cut the venison up. I reheated in the microwave, which is a sin. I always recommend in a pan and not in a microwave. And it was super tough, and like pretty chewy. And I got through like 2/3 of it.
You muscled through it.
Yeah, literally. I used my jaw muscles to get through it. Whereas your Axis deer tonight,
it's like butter.
I mean, we ate it next to a high-end ribeye, and
couldn't tell a difference.
It was like beef.
I mean,
it was very good.
We cooked it in beef tallow.
Yeah.
To be fair, gun to your head, ribeye,
Truth gun,
or the Axis? Truth gun.
Axis deer.
Axis,
for sure.
Like what we had tonight, you would eat the Axis before you ate that ribeye?
Yes.
I don't know.
It
was equally as good.
Yeah, it was. So I think I'm with Jeff from a conservationist standpoint that I'd rather eat the deer because it seems like somehow that seems more humane than slaughtering another cow.
Hey, farm raised cow.
Yeah, farm raised, right. Grass fed.
Yeah, it was a happy cow.
They were neck and neck.
Oh, dude, you honestly like, and you pair it with the cheese.
Yeah, I mean, hard to beat.
Game over.
I forgot it was venison. Like.
Yeah,
I had a couple pieces, and then someone made a comment, like, "Oh, this venison's great." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's not steak."
Well, it was kind of interesting cutting it all up and eating with the cheese. How much that salt did to it?
Oh, before and after.
Like I salt and peppered when we cooked, cut it up. We all tried it before we made the board, but that after salt. Like I felt like really set it up.
That elevated.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that it was the pink Himalayan salt.
No, that's definitely it.
Yeah, that was definitely it.
Yeah.
It was the pink Himalayan salt.
Imagine. I keep going back to the guy. So your meter.
Yeah,
what it's
meter.
Called?
I hardly know her.
Yeah, hardly know her. So there has to be a guy somewhere who was the tester of like, hey, at medium rare venison, we have to pull it out at this time. Who was the guy who tested all that out? Is just eating pounds of meat over and over again.
I think his name's Kyle Rempe.
Yeah. It's just his day job.
And now he's in a coma for the last 10 years.
Oh, man, if I smash all this beef, I'm just going to pass out.
Yeah.
That's what happens to Marine Corps officers if they eat too much protein. They pass out.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm about to go to sleep now. So.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little sleepy.
Let's take a quick nap. Grant, you got it?
Does that wrap up the charcuterie board?
What else was on there? We had some. I thought the
pork rinds.
Pork rinds were good.
Bacon bits.
Bacon bits. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The hard cheeses were good.
All great cheeses.
Yeah. I tempted Grant, tried to get me the soft cheese. He said no.
I said no.
Proud of him.
Proud carnivorian.
Proud. So I ate the soft
carnivore.
cheese. Yeah. What's the difference?
Yeah.
But he told me something about
glycemic responses, blood sugar.
Blood sugar. I don't know.
Yeah. This carnivore stuff's serious.
Hey.
So I had a client get mad at me when he watched the carnivore chicken bake. Like literally, here's a guy that said he would go. It's Craig, Washington, football fan.
In Seattle.
Yeah, up in Seattle.
Go Huskies.
So he says he's going to go carnivore. He goes carnivore for like 2 days. He's like, my wife doesn't like me to have carnivore. I'm going to eat some vegetables. 4 more days go by. He goes, I need some fiber. And then he goes, why'd you eat that chicken bake? I go, I didn't eat the chicken bake. I cut everything out of the chicken bake.
He goes,
yeah, but now your carnivore is fake.
Craig.
You ruined it. Yeah, Craig.
Watch
the video.
Craig for a second.
Yeah.
Craig.
Stare at Craig.
He just ate the chicken.
It was just the innards, Craig. Calm down. So I think that covers up the charcuterie board.
Yeah, delicious.
Yeah,
That
we
wraps
made
it up.
Yeah. Who's got the topic list?
I got it pulled up right here.
Okay, good. You like my Lucchese's, by the way?
Oh, Lucchese's.
Lucchese's.
You got boot bands on right now?
They look
No,
nice.
look at this.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Wearing them all natural.
Real Texan,
Let it
baby.
all hang out,
Let
baby.
it all hang out.
What kind of jeans you got?
These are Railcar Fine Goods, Monrovia, California.
Love that.
2% stretch. Stay tuned. We may have a Strength Co version coming out.
Ooh.
for real?
Serious. Yeah.
I'm gonna get some of those.
Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, please.
So these jeans,
Wait, is this brought to you by?
brought to you by Railcar Fine Goods in Monrovia, California.
Actual sponsor, maybe?
Potential sponsor.
Potential collaborator.
Ooh.
Actually, collaborator. They're being made. So Brian Lowell, initial member of where the Strength Co. all started. I forgot to mention the podcast is powered by the Strength Co. So that's in there now.
I completely forgot about
Yeah,
that.
potential sponsor.
Still, we haven't lost our
haven't
sponsorship.
lost them yet.
Wow. I thought that's what had happened.
I thought by now we
I
would have
thought
definitely
we didn't
lost
mention it. I was like, oh, I guess that fell through.
So he works for Kohler, and
the Sync Company.
yeah.
well,
Do they
he
also
would
make
tell
jeans?
a story
Oh.
about Mr. Kohler coming to America and opening a foundry and making tubs. And this is how he sold me, because he asked me when he joined the gym what kind of toilet I had. He goes, "You're a made in USA guy, right?" This is far before I made a product. I go, "Big time." He goes, "What kind of toilet do you have?" I was like, "An American Standard." He's like, "Oh, you like imported toilets?" And I was like, "It's
Hold
literally an American Standard." He's like, "They were bought out by whoever this long ago." Let me
China.
tell you about Mr. Kohler. And he has this whole story about like Mr. Kohler coming to Wisconsin. There's farms, there's chicken, there's cows. He makes a cast iron tub. He makes a toilet.
Oh my goodness.
Kohler, all made there. Anyway, Brian appreciates good American goods. So he tells me one day, I'm in the gym. He goes, "You know, none of your jeans fit, right?" I'm like, "What are you talking
Go
about?"
on.
He's like, "Well, one, you're fat." And I'm like, "I'm your strength coach." He's like, "Well, you're fat." And I was like, "Okay." He goes, "And your jeans don't fit, so you look fatter." And I'm like, "Well, gee, thanks, man." And he's like, "Let me take you to get some jeans that fit." So one day he comes and picks me up. And this is a true story.
Brutally honest.
Brian is...
I don't like you.
Yeah, right, yeah. Also, you're fat. Anyway, he tells me I'm fat to this day. Anyway, he takes me to Monrovia, California at the time. They've now moved, which I can't remember where, to Railcar Fine Goods. Owner's name is Steven. And you go in, and they got all different kind of U.S. jeans, different weights of denim, selvage denim, 8 ounce, 10 ounce, 12 ounce, left hand sewn, so the weave goes this way versus that way, different cuts of pockets, whatever. But when it comes down to sizes, you just put them on, and they're like kind of too tight and also kind of too big. So they'll be too long, but they'll be too tight in the butt.
Okay.
Like it'll be hard to get your hands in the pocket. And Steven will be like, "Those are perfect. Take those home and wear them." I'm like, "What? Like, these are terrible." So you'll buy these jeans, you'll rub against the wall. The indigo will like get on the sheetrock because you're in the gym and you're like spotting people's bench press stuff.
Naturally, yeah.
And then the behind the knee that's called something starts to blow out. The seat starts to blow out. Your wallet starts to take shape. You have to constantly put your hands in your pockets to expand them. And you wear them for 2 to 3 months. And then they're like kind of too big because the denim is stretched.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you go back to him. After like 3 months of like kind of ill-fitting jeans, but like wearing them in, and then he tailors them. And then you have a pair of jeans that last for like 3 years. And he actually, I don't know anymore, and he'll probably listen to this, but a big part of his business is then fixing jeans. So you wear the jeans, you get them tailored,
Love
and
that.
the crotch rips, kind of like Patagonia,
Love
right?
that.
So you mail your jeans back to him, and then he repairs whatever's wrong with them. So I've had a couple pairs with him. They've all been great. And I went to him like 6-9 months ago. And I was like, "Dude, I love your jeans. I need a new pair of jeans, but like, I don't have a year to like get to where like I can wear
To
the
figure out
jeans,
the
right?"
size,
yeah.
And I'm like, "Can you make me a pair with a little bit of spandex?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, there's all these companies, Barbell, Apparel,
It's a
all these
bunch now.
stretchy jean stuff." I'm like, "But they look like men wearing leggings that our jeans colored.
Yep.
I'm like, I want like real jeans. So he's like, yeah, I've never done it. I'll do it. So he makes me 2 pairs. I'm wearing a pair right now, and they're selvage denim. And he puts, I think they're either 1 or 2% spandex. There's not a lot of stretch.
It looks like
there's a little bit.
Yeah, about 1.5.
Yeah, maybe like 1 3/4, maybe like a half a meter.
You mind?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Trey knows
So
his-
anyway,
Trey
little
knows
bit
his
of
I know my spandex,
I'm a huge
yeah.
fan. So I went and saw him again when I was complaining about the boots. I was like, I need a little wider cut. And he was like, why don't we just do a Strength Co. athletic jean?
Boot cut?
Made in US. We're going to do a straight leg. So this is tapered.
Okay,
So it'd be
okay.
straight, it'd be more open. It would fit over your jeans. The inside of the pockets would say Strength Co. and Railcar, the leather patch in the back, all the branding on it. So the prototypes will be done in February. And like
About the time Papa needs some new jeans about that time.
I don't know how we got there.
Test
but-
a pair.
Yeah, so that's the
I don't know how we got there.
Oh,
I'm
Brian.
happy we did.
Yeah, back to
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'll just end the Brian story. So Brian took me there, put me on the Railcar jeans. I think the rest is history. I think that's all I had to say about Brian.
What's, but where's your toilet from? What brand toilet do you
Well,
have?
now I have a Kohler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that
updated everything. Both gyms, he made me
It's all
put Kohler
Kohler?
toilets in. When I say made me, I mean he like mailed a Kohler toilet to the
Amazing.
gym, and I installed
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay.
Gun to your head.
I mean, he charged me Kohler. He definitely charged me.
Kohler's definitely
Pressurized flushing.
They're definitely listening to this.
Yeah. Potential sponsor, Kohler.
Potential sponsor.
Kohler
Kohler.
toilets. Kohler toilets.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they're definitely listening.
Yeah. So that's I think that wraps up the toilet/jean talk.
Okay.
What a combination.
But anyway, Jeff, back to the topic list.
What do we got?
I did have one question. It'll be pretty quick here, but there was one question I wanted to ask both of you. But let me just verify.
Ooh, I'm a little bit nervous.
Axis or whitetail beer?
Ooh, Axis.
Okay, quote number has not changed since I saw. Question goes to you both. Whoever wants to answer first can.
Grant.
Trey.
Okay.
How many people are in space right now?
Ooh.
Are we
I used to
both
look at
gonna
that
answer?
app because of you.
Yeah, I did
It's one of my
too.
favorite websites.
I'm gonna go 16. No.
Final answer. You already
Wait,
said
Did I
16.
say final? Can you? 8.
Locked it in?
Locked in.
3.
It's 10.
10
people. This is a pretty high number. Usually it hovers around like 6.
Oh, see, I thought the question was, how many friends do you have in space right now?
Oh, yeah.
I saw that. That's why I said my
three.
fault. Yeah, you know 3. We know some of the
Two
same
Russian
people.
guys you don't get along with.
I don't know the Russian guys. He does.
Pro
So
Ukraine.
we get to 8. Okay.
10 people.
10
10 people
people
in space right now.
In space.
That's
And who-
crazy.
Is that from NASA?
That's from how many people are in space right now.com.
.com.
Actually a website.
Testorspeed.com.
Potential sponsor.
Actually a website.
Yeah.
Yeah, right after Kohler.
We got, let's see, mostly, we got 3 Americans, German guy,
What's he doing there?
Yeah, seriously.
1, 2,
Bill-
3 Russians, and 3 folks from China that have been there for
Kimchi.
China?
that have been there for
Konnichiwa.
almost, or they've been there for 832 days.
Wow.
Is it like an exile, a
Oh
punishment?
my gosh, the 3
Go to
Russians.
space.
At what point are you not from China?
Well, the
That's-
3
you're
Russians-
from space at that point.
The 3 Russians have been there for 1,043 days.
Is that 3
Goodness.
years?
Oh my
That's so-
gosh.
Wow.
For 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Talk about a deployment.
Oh.
Good night.
Hey, go to space for 3 years. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sad.
Do you think they forgot about him?
Yeah.
They're just like, oh,
Highly
get him
pumped.
back.
Where's Ivan?
I thought he would.
Oh, he's in space. I
He's
forgot.
still in
Yeah, he's
space.
still in space.
So I have a little game to
Shoot.
play.
What you got?
And what it's going to do is I'm going to throw out a Marine Corps term, and then
Yes.
you guys are going to come and say things that come to mind,
Okay.
and
I'm
then
going to
we're
be
going
so
to
bad
count
at
them
this.
all up, and then we're going to see how many it goes. And it's a very simple one, and you're definitely going to have some answers. And
Okay.
then I have a little story on the back end for it.
Go for
So
it.
an official Marine Corps term, probably found in a TM technical manual somewhere's donkey dick. So we're going to start with you, Trey. When you hear donkey dick, it's the first thing that comes to mind.
That's the level. Is that the level? What am I thinking of?
Oh, the first thing that comes to mind, go for it. Donkey dick.
It's either an antenna or
Do you want to go with antenna at first?
that's where I first went. But then I always go back to what's the thing, whenever you show up and you're like setting a battery and you roll in.
The pizza cutter or the range deflection protractor?
But no, there's a thing that hangs down.
Oh, the plumb bob.
The plumb bob.
You think of that as a donkey dick. All right, we'll count plumb bob as answer number 1.
Okay.
Start thinking, Trey. There's a lot of options here. Jeff.
So it's 2 things
Well,
for
you
me.
gotta
First
pick-
one.
you gotta pick
First
one or
one.
not.
First one. This one you go with.
UHF antenna for a 117.
See,
There you go.
and I thought it was an
There you go.
antenna. partially
UHF,
as well.
that's good. That's a good donkey dick. Back over to you. Think basics. Think you're in the armory. Think you're in the motor pool. Donkey dick.
Motor pool.
Motor pool.
Whenever you would fill
Yep.
the
Yes.
Humvee up.
JP8, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Keep going.
The funnel.
The funnel. It's a donkey dick. Hey, go get me a donkky dick.
Go
And
get
the
the
guy
donkey
brings
dick.
this funnel like 3 feet long that's black and round. And he goes, here you go. And
And
you're
it
like,
kind of like flops a
yeah,
little.
flops around. You stuff it in the hole. Donkey dick.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And what's the motor T term for that? It's like, it's like,
I thought that
it's
was
not
it.
cask and flagon. It's like
Like the actual term?
yeah, there's like an actual term. for
Delta,
the motor T
Delta?
guys.
Could
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, but donkey dick.
Yeah,
Couldn't tell you. Donkey dick.
Delta. Yeah.
Okay, so
Only heard
good.
it referred to as
Funnel
that.
for JP8.
Yep. UHF antenna for a 117.
Yep. And then what else you got? Are you guys done?
Do you have another one?
Oh, I got like 4 more.
Oh, man.
So it applies
Think
to
armory. Well, that's the point. Is that everything in the Marine Corps is it's eventually called a donkey dick. So you know when
I can't
you're,
remember
you know
the
when you're in
armory
the
line.
army and they hand you that silver brush.
I was about to say that
filled
That
with
has like
CLP,
that has CLP in the
and
handle.
they'll push it
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and the liquid comes out.
Yeah.
It's a long cylindrical object and you push it and liquid comes out. They would say, "Give me the donkey dick."
So it's the catch-all term for
It's the catch-all term.
anything
yeah.
that's long,
and
And
cylindrical.
shaft-like.
maybe a little bit floppy. Yeah.
Yeah, donkey dick. Anyway, that's the spiciest we've gotten it. But my donkey dick story is for the Humvee related one. We had
for
this Marine, Lance Corporal Norman.
See, that's what comes to my mind.
That's what comes up. So Lance Corporal Norman, I don't know where he was from, but I would guess Mississippi.
The South.
I think it was some.
No, it was definitely the
Mississippi-
South.
It was like
The South.
Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama.
It was
Wow,
definitely
one of those.
It was definitely
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mississippi woman, Louisiana man. That's not how the song went. But anyway,
Yeah.
very southern. And someone told him that he was like Shrek he was like Donkey from Shrek.
Okay.
So, had some extra teeth up front, a little bit of an overbite, really great Marine. And so he would do this thing where he'd say, "Hey, sir, you want to hear a joke?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, anyone." And then he'd be like, "Whatever, what does Donkey say in Shrek?" I've never seen Shrek. But he would hold
I
up
don't
the
know.
donkey photo next to his face and then make imitate it
Okay.
and make fun of himself. And it
You
was
just
like a
do
joke.
Eddie Murphy impression.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy.
Basically, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious. So we stop one day on Cabazon, on the way to
Yeah.
29 Palms, this place that you stop to refuel vehicles. And, they're refilling him. He's a motor T operator. So he runs up to my truck first because he wants to grab the donkey photo and say something in an Eddie
Naturally,
Murphy voice.
yeah.
So he does it. And then I'm walking, make sure all the drivers get energy drinks and water before we finish driving up the hill. I'm like, "Hey, Norman, did you fill up your truck?"
Great officer.
A great officer. And he's like, "No, sir." And I'm like, "Why?" He goes, I can't find the thing to put in the truck." And I'm like, "The donkey dick?" And he's like, "Sir?" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Are you saying donkey dick because I say I'm a donkey?" And I was like, "No, the black funnel thing." And then I'm like, "Oh, I can't say this. This is so bad."
Yeah.
And so that was the story on the donkey dick.
I like it.
Yeah, you get it.
All right, so in sports, we got some coaching kind of shakeups in the NFL. Do we want to dive into that?
And college.
And college. True.
Yeah.
True. Trey, you got any takes on The college coaching
Ooh,
moves.
so Jim
Harbaugh
to the Chargers, right?
to the Chargers.
Is it official?
Official.
Los Angeles Chargers, not to be confused with the San Diego Chargers.
Rest in
Correct,
peace.
yeah.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
Moved up
R.I.P.
north.
Yeah.
Man, I think that's, to me, I'm curious. One, so this opens up the portal. So whenever a coach leaves, they have 30 days.
Go ahead. No,
They have 30 days to enter the portal and go wherever they want, right?
Oh, is that the rule?
yes.
Whenever a coach leaves, that opens it up for the players to move.
So otherwise, when could they move? Because a bunch of people moved at the end of the season.
So the portal is naturally open from, I can't remember the date in December, but until like January 2nd. And then there's also a spring portal where they can move again.
Okay.
But then if a coach changes at any point in time, it opens it up for 30 days for that team. From my understanding.
yes.
And then also it's kind of weird. Like if you're in the playoffs, it's a little bit later for those teams to enter the portal if they want to. Yada, yada, yada. So
I think the timing's a little tough because I was listening to a different podcast, a competitor
what?
podcast.
What?
I know.
Competitor podcast?
I've
And they
never
were
listened to
talking-
another podcast.
And they were
besides this
talking
one.
about about Saban leaving Alabama, and they were like, "Oh well, if players that would have left by now because the semester is about to start and they have to enroll in classes, so they could then play that
Wait,
next
so you mean
season."
to tell me that college football players actually have to go to class?
No, that's a
depends on the
myth.
school.
Technically speaking, yes.
That's a myth.
They have to enroll in the classes. They don't have to attend them.
Okay.
Well, see, and then the other thing to me that's interesting is, so I've heard rumors that Brian Kelly at LSU is a hot name for the Michigan job. So I would love nothing more as an A&M fan to see
Farmers fights.
Everybody do it. Yeah.
This is
Wait,
the
what is
band.
this? I don't know. It's how
Farmers fight. Farmers fight. Whoop, whoop. Pretty much.
to see LSU fall apart. That's just me. But I've heard Brian Kelly is a hot name to move up there. But I think there's also, I can't remember the assistant coach who is another, like they might just promote.
Interesting. Do you think the Michigan job is a better job than LSU?
I think it depends. Brian Kelly's from that area.
Okay.
So it would just kind of be like going home. You know
What
what I
do
mean?
you think, though?
Yeah. What do you think?
Not Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I'm asking Trey.
If I was a college football coach and had no ties to either location, LSU being in Louisiana, you're the only game in town.
Tend to agree.
In LSU or in Louisiana, right? And there is so much talent in that part of Texas, kind of like on the Gulf Coast.
Yep.
And then just the whole state of Louisiana is just like right with talent. So I would tend to think LSU is a better job just because you can recruit much easier versus Michigan.
Do you think their schedule though is like tougher on an average season?
Who,
LSU
LSU's?
has a much harder time
Absolutely,
in the season. So
yeah. But I think you're getting more talent. I don't know. That's a good point. Like Michigan's schedule, I think, is a lot easier, I would say.
No, I did think it was
agree.
funny. I watched the emergency press conference. You know, Portnoy does those emergency press conferences.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Brady leaves the Patriots.
And he's
by
a big Michigan fan,
big
right?
win
Yeah.
Michigan. So big Michigan. So he's like, emergency press conference. And, you know, he goes on about Harbaugh leaving. And he talks about how he hated Harbaugh. Then Harbaugh, he said, the world was spinning. Harbaugh put his finger on the globe, stopped the world, spun it the other way, brought Michigan back to greatness. We beat Alabama. We won a national championship. You know, he can go wherever he wants. And I was like, man, that's the SEC for you right there.
That's it.
You are the world champion. You just won, and your coach is leaving, and the only thing you can think about is that you beat a one-loss Alabama team in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, that's a part of your going away speech.
Yeah.
That's the SEC right there. And that's why, as a Gamecock fan, we'll probably never be a greatness because that's how good the SEC is. But they hate us because they ain't us.
That's true.
You know?
Preach.
I don't know. I don't know. Gamecocks, I have faith in your coach still.
So I still think Beamer's great. I like to describe Beamer as a kid or as a coach that I would want my kid to go play for. Like, I think he actually cares about them. Like, you know, I think he's a good guy. I do think he has some special teams knowledge. I just think the portal shakeout for a lower tier school in a top conference. We don't know yet because it's too new, but I think it's going to be rough. I mean, he's had some people come back, but he has had people that he praised, did everything for, went and recruited them himself that have left. I still like him, right?
Yeah,
I still think he's the guy for the job, but I just think if you're Alabama or some of these big schools, the portal goes in your favor. You know, a guy has a breakout season I know, could go in the wrong way, but I mean, a guy has a breakout season in South Carolina, and South Carolina ends up with 5 wins, 6 wins. What's that guy going to do? He's going to say, where can I go and win? He's going to leave.
True. Okay.
At the bigger schools, you might have a disgruntled player that didn't get to play because the team was that good and the depth was so good that leaves, right? Like think portal during Mac Jones, Tua, and who was the other Alabama quarterback?
The most recent one?
Hurts. No, when there was 3 of them at once, they were all good. It was Tua, Mac Jones, and Hurts, right?
Hurts. Yeah.
So 2 of those guys are leaving.
Yeah.
If the portal's around
for sure,
at that time, right? And it wasn't that, it was because they didn't get to play. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think the dogs at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Frisco. That should be the opening of this one. Yeah. Jordy, make that the opening.
But yeah, I don't know. And then we were talking earlier, I think Auburn is low key going to be a very good team next year.
We'll see. That's their whole like MO. They love sandbagging it and then surprising a bunch of people.
True. Yeah.
And
They're stacking talent right now as far as just recruiting. So, and portal.
We'll see. I think Hugh Freeze is a great recruiter. Good offensive coach.
Terrible person.
Don't know about the character side and how that'll end up shaking out. But
hey,
we shall see.
As long as our annual sushi bet.
That's right.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
that's right. You guys want to elaborate on that?
For those that don't know, every time Texas A&M and Auburn play each other, if Auburn wins, Trey buys me dinner. A&M wins, I buy Trey dinner.
And it's always sushi.
When we lived together, it was sushi.
Yeah.
And then I think the last couple of years, it's just like I order something for Jeff.
Uber Eats
something.
Yeah.
And then surprise Jeff and he'll be getting there.
A feast shows
nice
up at my door.
It's literally been like 50-50.
Yeah.
It's like they split almost every year. So
yeah. So
it's been
do you
pretty
guys
nice.
play this year?
Yeah. So it hasn't been good. Like if I was to do that with South Carolina, Grant would be buying me dinner every year.
It would be like back when we lived together.
Yeah. I thought that's what just happened. I thought you guys had a
similar beat A&M
once.
Yeah, we did beat you once. That's right.
It was not this year, the year before.
Yeah, year before. That's right.
So I don't know. I want to get in
Tennessee. That was the year. Yeah, that was where the Beamer. Yeah. 2 years ago.
It was a good year for South Carolina.
Yeah, 7 wins is a huge deal for us.
It was a good year.
It was a good year.
It was an old ball coach. Reminiscent.
HBC, head ball coach.
Oh,
head ball coach.
Old ball coach, head ball coach.
He was old.
Coach. Rip. He's still alive.
That is true. Yeah. He is still alive.
He's still alive.
Probably playing a lot of golf, I would imagine.
Any
big golf guy?
You big golf guy.
Golf guy.
The legend was that the board of South Carolina told him they would make him a member at the Masters if he would take the job.
Did they?
That's why he took
That's why he took it?
That's like, I have no idea if that's true. That was the story, was that he got access to golf.
Is that why he wears a green jacket everywhere?
Does he?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the Masters thing?
He's totally gotten back to Florida now.
The
He's a Florida man again.
PGA headquarters about 10 minutes up north.
North Oklahoma.
Of
Texas?
where we're at right now.
Oh.
Wow.
They just moved here not too long ago.
How are the stars at night there?
Oh, they're average.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not big and bright?
No.
Oh, okay.
Medium and bright?
Medium.
Medium stars.
Medium and not dimish. Yeah.
So, Jeff, you were going to go over a map.
Yeah, so
speaking of
in our
college
little,
football, LSU versus Michigan, all those
our
sorts of
Slack
things.
thread here, Grant dropped a very interesting, so it's a map of the United States, and it's broken down into various regions. Those regions are labeled and kind of color-coded.
Wait, hold on, where did we find this map?
I found it on Twitter, X.
Just
X.
a random.
Someone tweeted it. And I just thought it was interesting because there's a lot of debate on, well, let's let Jeff tell us about the map.
First of all, this is the point in time where we'll pull up the map and post it
Yeah,
right here.
the map will be
right here.
somewhere.
The map.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
And you'll see what we're talking about.
It'll be in the show notes.
And so it's got, I don't know, probably a dozen regions like mapped out here. Some very interesting ones, like to me, the fact that the state of California or the region of California is not the entire state of California is interesting to me. There's 3 sections of the Midwest, which is interesting. The Gulf Coast, not all of it is on the coast.
What about
how's that a thing?
What about quote unquote heart of Texas going into Oklahoma?
All right, can we tack one of these at a time? What thread is this in?
This is in our
the most recent.
Oh, our thread.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Let's start with the Deep South.
Okay, Deep South. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so
I don't have a problem with that.
So
I do.
So the gray, if I were to describe this, is the western sides of North and South Carolina.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If I'm looking at the map, all of Georgia, the majority of Florida, except for South Florida and a little bit on the Gulf Coast.
Spot?
Yeah, which is probably Fort Lauderdale.
Wait,
I don't know. Is that Tampa Bay?
yeah, in Florida.
Yeah. And then like the majority of Tennessee, but not the part the Appalachian Mountain goes in. Most of Alabama. That's Alabama
Except
next to
for
Georgia.
random, like a middle part.
Yeah.
That's not
so
on
what's
the
your
coast.
problem with the Deep South besides the donkey dick cutting into Alabama?
Yeah, that random like phallic shape that swoops through Mississippi and Alabama.
Oh, that's the Gulf Coast.
Yeah,
that's not on the coast.
Not on the coast.
Yeah.
Florida, not the South. It's Florida.
Yeah.
I don't agree. And then, I don't agree with Florida being on there.
So I actually
Florida
think,
is Florida.
I actually think, and this is like total bias because was raised in South Carolina. I don't like that the South. I don't like that the coast of South Carolina is considered mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, that's not
like.
Are you offended by that?
Yeah. I am. Like South Carolina is first to secede. We're the deepest to south as south is.
Like most of
bad boy. Literally in Charleston, buddy. Like, come on.
And North Carolina is interesting because it technically has 3 of these regions in it.
Yeah.
It's Appalachia, Deep
but
South, and Mid-Atlantic.
Like, I'm becoming more of a North Carolina fan now that I'm in the upstate South Carolina. I'm going in North Carolina way more.
Duke or Tar Heel?
My mom went to Chapel Hill, so I'll always.
Tar Heels.
She's happy if it's Go Heels.
Okay.
But no, I just mean like being in the upstate South Carolina, I go into North Carolina a lot to fish. And I would say that region that they have brown there is dead on correct.
Okay.
Because you go up towards Asheville, you start to get hippie, you start to get Appalachian, you start to get conservationist, which you could be a conservationist, not a hippie, just saying. But
it's true.
I think that part's interesting. I disagree with North Carolina, the lower mid-Atlantic. Maybe I don't understand what mid-Atlantic means.
Maybe I don't either.
I think it's like around the middle of the Atlantic.
And then this is like the lower part.
Yeah. I don't know.
As far as like anything that we can agree with, I think
I love that there's no complaints about the Northeast.
No.
Yep. Everything up there is Patriot Red. Done. I have no
Mountain West.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mountain West. Mountain West.
Southwest.
Well,
I still find it's weird that California is a region, but not the whole state is in it. Like,
so I kind of agree.
I get it a little bit. Because it kind of looks like maybe like Sacramento is not California.
I don't know.
Which you were talking earlier, like
I guess it's kind of like the Sierras.
About the areas of California.
Yeah, well, I was just complaining that people from other parts of the country are like, California sucks. I'm like, no, you just watch too much Fox News.
That's true.
Like, go to California and go an hour outside of LA.
Of any city.
I will show you cowboys, like with cows and horses and cowboy hats doing rancher stuff way more than you've ever done
good.
in, I don't know. I don't
Texas.
I don't want to name a state.
That-
you know.
but
So
yeah,
that
like
guy we were
John
listening to,
Steinbeck
that guy we were
country.
listening to earlier,
Yeah.
on the Jesse Daniels,
Yeah,
California.
California. Yeah, John California.
I like California.
Like I said,
I like California too. California.
I lived there for a little bit.
It's the
I liked
problem is I understand why people want to attack it, but they've never been and understood that like if the things that you don't like about it are certain things, which it's not important to bring up, those are found in like the major cities, but like there are cowboys there are gold miners there are hikers there are fishermen there are hunters there are conservationists there. There's a Patagonia store at Cardiff by the Sea.
Patagonia was founded there.
Yeah.
49ers.
49ers are there.
California.
They're going to win the Super Bowl.
I gotta say though, I think the deep part of this that I agree with the most is the Southwest.
They're cutting out a lot of Texas.
So, but here's why I say that.
I like
you
it,
know, I'm
though.
a big El Paso fan.
Yeah.
When I'm in El Paso, I do not feel like I'm in Texas.
I would agree with that. So I
feel like I could say Mexico,
fair enough. Okay.
but I feel like Southwest and where they've cut out, all that kind of feels, it's a different feeling. El Paso than DFW, than Houston, than Austin. Like it's,
yeah, no, I'd agree.
Yeah.
So I lived in Fort Stockton, Texas, which is right in the quote unquote Southwest. It's like right on that border
yeah.
of heart of Texas and Southwest. Fort Stockton is very Texas. It's like West Texas, Midland. Yeah.
Midland.
I would say it's like a tiny Midland.
Odessa.
Long neck,
Why
long
does
way,
everyone want
way
to go
to
to
go.
Odessa?
Odessa.
So, like I said, as far as this map goes, controversial.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Interesting.
And then also just wanted to bring up Alaska and Hawaii.
Just by themselves.
Yeah,
These are just states. These aren't regions.
yeah. I mean,
But it's true.
When
First
I
of all.
think of the country, I think of the continental 48.
Yeah.
Because I only
yeah.
think of the country as to how to ship plates to it. And Alaska and Hawaii are their own things.
You ain't getting plates.
No,
No,
sorry.
you can get plates.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
you
my
can get
bad.
plates.
We'll get them to you.
You can get plates. You can pay more,
Sorry, Hawaii and Alaska. We will not ship you
but,
plates, but Grant
the co-
will.
the co-
The Strength Co.
The
will.
continental 48 is different.
Our competing plate brand that we're going to start up does not. Does not.
Yeah. The OK plates.
They're okay.
They're like pig iron.
They're okay.
They're okay.
Well, I think we should then wrap up with I don't feel like we've talked enough about lifting.
I don't think we've touched on it.
Yeah.
I don't think we talked. Well, no, we talked a little about Grant's lifting.
We talked about Carnivore. Oh, I guess
Yeah.
I talked a little
First of
about
all, amateur lifting update.
amateur lifting update. That's
Me-
what we're here for.
Let me see what I did yesterday. We'll pull it up real quick.
Yeah, pull it up. Your wife has an app that she said was stupid.
Yeah.
So she asked me questions and I just copy pasted the questions and asked GrantBot
And
and sent her the answer. She said, thanks.
she was
Way
pretty,
better than my app.
She was pretty excited about it. All right. So I squatted yesterday,
Okay.
275,
3 sets of 5.
3 sets of 5.
Nice.
Felt good. Still doing novice. Press 135.
Progress.
Nice.
Felt good. Deadlift 335.
Okay.
So I'm
Nice.
doing 10 pounds.
So you're still deadlifting heavy each time.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm doing, and it, like I said,
You're
it was-
deadlifting 3 times a week?
yes, it moved easy, still felt good. Doing 10-pound jumps on squat and deadlift.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I'm doing 5-pound jumps. I actually lowered, that press was kind of hard for me. So I lowered it down to 2.5 increases.
Jump.
Nice.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah.
good.
And then doing
Well, you got them all.
Yeah, got them all still. And then doing 5-pound increases on the bench press. So now I'm going to start incorporating Wednesday, Saturday's bench press, Monday, Friday press.
Oh,
overhead
an
press.
extra benching day.
Exactly.
Okay. So progress is going well.
Still moving.
So what's your amateur lifting question?
Amateur lifting question. So you walked into my gym
The
today.
dojo. I saw
dojo,
it. Really
right?
nice.
My F250 squat rack.
It kind of changed your opinion a little on the squat rack.
It did.
When you saw it in
Squat rack
person.
update.
The China.
The Chinaman squat rack is
They can make a pretty okay squat rack.
that thing is hefty.
It's sturdy.
Yeah. Well, what I told Trey, what I told you was it was more stable than I thought. It had more rackable options than I thought, and that you should totally keep using it. And you said, I may put a shed in the backyard and then rebuild the gym. And I said, at that point, you should buy a new gym. But right now, dude, that thing's solid.
It's still, like
it's solid. I mean, it takes up a lot of room.
It gets the job done.
If you're changing squat racks just for the sake of changing squat racks, and like you put a different squat rack in there and your wife still can't park her car, don't change squat racks.
Gotcha.
Just keep lifting.
Yeah.
But if you're like redoing and need to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right.
So I guess the question I had this week, both y'all walked in there. What is a gym item as I increase like my home gym or add to it?
Mm-hmm.
What's a gym item that maybe as you were building your own gym at home that you're like, oh, this is something I didn't know I needed?
Do you have a take on that?
And then like maybe like when you got it, you're like, oh, this was a game changer. I'm thinking like maybe it was chalk. Maybe it was, I don't know, a deadlift.
I already have my answer.
Oh, you have your answer?
I'm
Okay.
just curious what Jeff thinks.
Let's sit in silence for a little bit.
I don't know. I'm thinking
A moment
on
of
it.
silence.
Thinking
Moment of
on it.
silence is
All the
everything.
people with the Chinaman racks. Those poor souls. Buy American. Buy the Strength Co.
China.
Nothing comes to mind immediately.
Okay, so the biggest thing
I'll
that
keep
I would
thinking.
say that was a game changer is a game changer for me. Is not really fair for the home gym consumer.
Okay.
But for someone that's built a few gyms and has worked out and built gyms, having the ability to have multiple stations. So a lot of people I will tell to make an 8x8 rack, take maybe 2 sheets of 4x8 plywood, put them together so it's 8x8, put rubber on top, and put your squat rack in the center or behind it. And then you can, squat in one area and then deadlift in front of it, which is nice. But even on an 8x8 platform, you might run out of a little bit of space. You might run out of plates. But when I was in your gym today and I was looking at it, and you have some extra rubber flooring now, which is nice. But I think the nicest thing is to have your squat rack separate from your deadlift platform.
Okay.
And this also requires that you have 2 barbells. It doesn't require it, but makes it really nice.
It makes it nice, yeah.
And also that you have a full double-sided deadlift jack. So if you have your own deadlift station, what's really nice, you go in, you do your squats, you finish your squats, and then you start pressing. And like during your first rest set of presses, you go over to your deadlift jack, you jack up your other bar, you put 135 on, and you put it at rest. And you pull a set of 5, 135, easy day. You're a 335-pound deadlifter. That's not going to take away from your presses.
Lightweight?
Yeah, you go into your second set of presses. Boom. And you go and you put 225 on the bar.
Okay.
And you pull a set of 3. But just like not having like put it all away. So like when I worked at the Strength Co. Custom Mesa, or when we had the Villa Park gym, or when I do the one in Greenville, South Carolina, like I was benching heavy. Lately I've been, if I have a bench and deadlift day, I've found that like squats, I like to do first, but deadlift, I like to do my upper body lift first. I don't know. When I go into the deadlift, I feel like the deadlift's kind of like harder to warm up. So I like to like bench first or press first, whatever I have to do that day. So I'm benching and I like work up my first triple on the bench. I have 5 sets total and boom, I hit it. I'm like, let me go set up my deadlift. I hit 135. I walk around the gym, get some steps in, come back, hit my second triple, bench or deadlift 225. And so it's not so much to save time. I mean, it is to save time, but it's just you feel kind of more efficient. But I think because you're using that whole gym, like if you had it set up a little bit differently, I think having 2 stations is kind of nice. And even like where your plates are stored, because you have those extra plates, right? So you could take 2 of those nice Strength Co 45s you have it on your deadlift platform, and then have those rubber weights with a slightly smaller diameter over there. Yeah. And then like that's like your deadlift setup, and it never leaves, right? Because you're squatting 275 right now. Correct. So you don't need 845s on that rack, right? And I just think that's like a weird nice to have. I think that's, and it just makes the like, I don't know, it just feels smoother.
So I need to buy, if only I knew someone who
It sold more plates.
Gosh.
But I don't think you need more
barbells.
plates. I mean, I'd love to say
I think
more
I'm
plates.
good on plates.
Yeah, I
but
think you're good on plates.
I might need another
Need a
bar
bar.
at some point in
Might
time.
need another bar. Well, you need another bar because you don't have a bar with a center knurl. And the reason I bring that up
is a game changer.
That is a game changer.
For real.
I've given it to clients, gotten clients to purchase it. Bar with no center knurl at your weight squatting. The difference of that bar gripping your back and holding on, you will not believe it. And you could do a fix right now. You take an athletic tape and you could tape the middle and it would help. And you'd be like, oh, Grant's right. And then buy the bar. But the middle bar, that middle knurling is huge. And your bar that you have right now, an Inspire bar, that's 28 millimeter, great deadlift bar. More whip on it. You're going to be able to pull more weight on it. Take that Inspire bar, put it on your deadlift platform, then get a Strength Co bar. You will be so happy you did. So happy.
I better buy a bar.
Which
tonight.
one would you recommend?
Wait, hold on. Hey,
Core bar,
give me
standard
5 minutes.
bar?
So in his particular scenario, I would definitely recommend a core bar.
That's what I would say.
Because you have a 28 millimeter. Abby can deadlift with the 28 millimeter.
Okay.
You can deadlift with a 28 millimeter because you have more flex. I'd recommend the 28.5 millimeter for people that are looking for one bar to solve all issues. So it has a little bit more flex when you deadlift. It's a little bit smaller if you have smaller hands, but it has a center knurl. It's stiff enough. The knurling is aggressive enough that I can deadlift heavy on it, but your wife can also deadlift on it without being like, my thumbs are getting ripped off. Whereas like the 29 is super stiff, which is going to be hard on the deadlift.
Yeah.
Which you can make arguments that that's better, but it's going to be harder. But the knurling's more aggressive. You're probably going to like it. You're a big, huge Texan ready to grab it. You just finished roping some cattle. But I know you're armed. But Abby may not like it.
Yeah.
Right? May not like the 29. So I think for you get that 29 millimeter. It's stiff, great for your presses, great for your benches, great for your squats, aggressive center knurl. Deadlift on your Inspire bar, 28 millimeter, you get some flex on it. And then once in a while, you might be like, hey, let me see how this knurling feels on the core bar compared to the other one. And I bet, I won't say, I bet you'll like the grip of it better, but then you'll be like, oh, I can tell the difference with this millimeter.
Gotcha.
That's crazy. Yeah. I know we're talking about meters earlier, but millimeters, half a millimeter.
These are different meters.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
But it makes a big difference.
Okay.
And the grip on your back is
Speaking of
a
Abby,
big deal.
can we get a round of golf clap for she had her PR on deadlift this week?
Outstanding work, Abby. Shout out.
Golf clap?
Yeah, Abby.
Yeah.
Well, any saved rounds?
I got one.
Okay.
I got
Go.
one.
Jeff always has a saved round.
I love
Shout
it.
out.
Yeah.
So we give a shout out to your brother, Caleb.
Oh, big Caleb.
Big fan of your surgeries. We think
Yeah.
you're doing awesome.
Yeah, Caleb.
Potential
Keep doing what
sponsor,
you're doing.
Keep going, Caleb.
We need if you need a doctor, call us. We'll hook you up with Caleb. You'll be healthy and fixed. Free surgeries is what I heard.
Free surgery.
I heard he was going to give
He
away
can replace
free
your donkey dick in
surgeries.
like an hour.
Caleb MD.
Yeah, we'll
I
hook you
guess
up.
the only saved round I got, super excited
Now
about
you have a save round.
the Arnold.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I just
Arnold.
want to remind everybody, next time we'll all be together.
Yep.
We'll be the Arnold. Plan on doing a podcast up there, right?
Yeah, we'll do a live podcast, kind of like this, at the Arnold.
This chair's, I'm going to pack the chair.
Lord,
Yeah.
Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
Yeah.
Mobile
check this
podcast studio.
Yeah, first weekend of March. We're excited about it.
Yeah.
Coming up quick. Got some big deadlifters coming in. So the Arnold will be cool. Sponsoring it again. We'll hopefully have a road trip up maybe on the way.
It's in the works.
Yeah, film some stuff. But yeah, Arnold's happening. Any other save rounds?
That's it. Sign us off, Coach.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast, sponsored, powered by whatever you want to call it, sponsored and powered by the Strength Company. I just going to simplify this. www.theokpodcast.com. We'll get you everything. Instagram, X, YouTube, you name it. Go follow us, subscribe. Please leave a 5-star review on Spotify. We appreciate your support. We appreciate you tuning in.
Okay.
That's it.
See you next time.